stagnated for 5 months. Super cute pair of socks. I really love the look of messy bun, but I'm so bad at making them. In the last trimester, I have knit a grand total of 0 stitches. That's my prim dress. Actually halfway empty, halfway full. Hi, my name is Maya and welcome to my YouTube channel where I share all my thoughts, process and other random stuff about all things fiber related, but mostly knitting. Today is the 2nd of July 2026 and I'm coming to you from the French-speaking part of Switzerland where I live with my gecko. It is the end of June, or rather June is now finished because it's the beginning of July, so it is time to share with you my monthly stash update for the month of June. And as usual, I'm super excited because there was some positive or rather negative movements this month. That being said, I was still in kind of a chill knitting mode as opposed to when I'm in a hardcore zero chill knitting mode. It really wasn't that this month. I don't know, I wouldn't say I'm in a knitting slump at all because I'm still, like every time I pick up my needles I'm bursting and overflowing with joy, and every stitch I make I'm like, oh, I really love knitting. And I'm still like, I have so many ideas and so many inspirations, so definitely not a knitting slump, but I just have so many other things to do. Like I have so much pattern writing these days, and I'm also really much into climbing because the weather is great, and I just love climbing as much as I love knitting. Maybe not as much, but almost. So yeah, it just takes a lot of knitting time. All of this to say, I didn't knit that much this month, but it's okay, because not every month can be hardcore knitting all the time. I still finished quite a few small items, and I do have some acquisitions to show you, so this episode is gonna be reasonable in terms of content, but it's, yeah, small stuff, except one big things, but small stuff otherwise. Anyway, I will take you, with my notes, through the current balance of my stash, so the stats of yarn in and out, and my progression towards my yearly goal. And I will show you quickly what I have acquired and what I have knit up, finished this month, but I won't go too much into details into the finished pieces because that's a job for the podcast episode. And as usual, if you haven't seen episode 0 of the series, I strongly recommend you do, because otherwise you're gonna be lost as to why I have so much yarn in my stash. So much for me, but yeah, don't compare yourself to me. PSA, never compare yourself to people you see on the internet. We do not have the same situation. So, for the yarn in and out, let's see what the numbers say for this month. So at the beginning of June, I had 12,677 grams of yarn in my stash, and at the end of the month, so 2 days ago, is still the case today. I have 12,247 grams. So 12.7 kilo versus 12.3 kilos for a net negative total of 430 grams for the month. Which is not like groundbreaking, but still, my stash went down by almost half a kilo, which I'm pretty chuffed about. Like, I'm pretty happy, especially considering I didn't really need that much. Yeah, I think it's not bad. Now, you may remember that in the month of May, I predicted that my stash would go down a ton in the month of June, because at the time, I had a lot of stuff on my needles and I thought I would finish everything in the month of June. Didn't happen. I only finished one thing, but it was the biggest one. So yeah, it wasn't as good as I expected, but whatever. And also, all the acquisitions I had this month were unexpected. There were either stuff I was given to do small projects like right now, for I'm gonna explain later, and something I actually knew I would need to buy at some point, but I didn't know when, and it happened to be this month. But it's something I really absolutely needed, and I'm itching to cast on, but I still needed to clear up my needles first. But yeah, it wasn't really planned, so I thought June would be probably 0 in terms of yarn in. Didn't happen, but it's okay, it's okay. I'm gonna come back on this afterwards. Now, we are 6 months into the yearly challenge of Stash Down. So you may remember at the very beginning of the year, I destashed a lot of yarn during the first month. I was just in the mood to destash. And I think now that time has passed, I'm in the mood again to destash some stuff. And I do have a couple of things I could destash. it's gonna be like for free, just pay for shipping, first come, first serve type of situation. So I guess don't click away at the end of the video. Now, let's go back to my stash. Let's talk about the yearly goal percentage, because I am also tracking how far into my yearly goal I am. So as a reminder, I want to get my stash under 10 kilos, which meant during the year of 2026, I have to to have 5,131 grams of yarn out of stash in any kind of way, like knitting up or destashing or throwing away or whatever. I don't throw away yarn. Knitting or destashing. So at the end of May, I was 47.8% of the way into my goal. And at the end of June, I was at 56.2%. Which is more than where I was at the end of April, because you may remember that in the month of May, my stash went up. So I did kind of cancel all the yarn that came in the month of May and more. So it's the further I have ever been in my goal, which I'm, again, pretty happy about. And we are past the halfway through the year. And I think it's also why I'm in the mood again to destash, because I'm like, now I would like to make a big dent to celebrate the halfway point. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just in the mood to do that. So yeah, you're gonna see that at the end of the episode. But whatever. If I have to make again a prediction for July, I hope that the 2 big projects I currently have on the needles are gonna be finished. I say big projects, but they are actually fingering weight on small needles. So they are not going to take a lot of yarn out in terms of weight, but they are still taking ages, but whatever. I hope to finish those 2. I hope to finish something that I'm going to cast on and hopefully finish in the month of July. And I don't have anything to buy. I don't have any yarn I need to acquire in the month of July, so hopefully the acquisitions are going to be 0, but we never know. Yarn just seems to come into my possession without me predicting it. So yeah. We'll see. But if I also manage to destash some yarn, maybe the month of July is going to be epic. Who knows? That would be good. Because I feel like I did a good progress at the very beginning of the year because I finished some big projects and I destash, and then I kind of stagnated for 5 months, doing a little bit of progress at the time and then going back and then a little bit of progress. Still overall progress, but I think I need some encouragement. So hopefully I'm going to finish everything I have on my needles in July. And even more. We'll see. That's my prediction. Alright, so now let's talk about the breakdown of those numbers. So the total net negative of the month, so minus 430 grams, is divided in yarn in and yarn out. So I had 323 grams of yarn in, so that's the acquisitions. And I had 753 grams of yarn out, which is the yarn I have knit up, the project I have completed. So for the yarn in, I got 20 grams of brushed alpaca silk by Drops in the color Bordeaux, Burgundy something. So 20 grams of this, and I got this, it was given to me by my local yarn shop because I'm gonna give a workshop to knit up a scrunchie, a hair scrunchie, and we're gonna use this yarn. So this is a leftover from the shop. So Sandy just gave it to me so that I could knit up the sample of the scrunchie. And I don't need this, so I'm gonna give it back to her. I mean, this is the leftover. I have finished the scrunchie, it's here. So this took 9 grams, so I'm gonna count 9 grams of yarn in and 9 grams of yarn out because I have knitted up, and this is gonna disappear into thinner. So in reality, it's 9 grams of yarn in, and I'm gonna talk about this again later. Then I had, for the same reason, 27 grams of Sheepies Katona come in. So it's a mercerized cotton to do like amigurumi or crochet stuff. I mean, you don't have to do those, but it's usually what it's used for. And I say for the same reason, because I'm also going to give a workshop for the piece I did with this, which is a glasses case, something. And this is the leftovers. However, this I'm going to keep because I know what to do with. So I got 27 grams of yarn in, and I will tell you later how much I used in the project that I have now completed. But this was also given to me. I didn't pay for it. And then I got one skein of Solace worsted by Woolen Twine Fiber Studio, which was 101 grams, because I needed it to finish my sweater. So this is the tag. And the yarn specs. And I had already bought 6 skeins, but I needed more to do the sweater longer because I wanted a really long sweater, and this is what I have left. I'm a bit annoyed because it's a lot, but whatever. I'm gonna talk about this later again. So I got 101 grams of that yarn in. And now the last one, the unpredicted but very needed acquisition I forgot to take with me. It's this one. So this is Solo Lino by Lana Grossa. And as the name suggests, it's 100% linen yarn. It's like a sport weight something. I don't know, it's 120 meters per 100 grams. And I got this because last week I met with my friends Leah from Leah Amber Knits. She's on YouTube and on Instagram. And she's Swiss. Like, she grew up in Switzerland, but she now lives in the UK. And she came to visit her family last week and this week. And she suggested we could meet up because I live in Switzerland. So we did that last week. It was awesome. We had a great day, but I'm going to talk about that in the podcast, not here. And one of the things we did was going to a yarn shop in Interlaken because that's where she grew up. So we got this. I mean, I say we because she got the same yarn as me at the yarn shop. And I got this one because I wanted to knit up a lila top because I have test knit the lila top for Kadri, I think 2 years ago. And it's my favorite summer top I have knit. I love the yarn, I love the shape, I love the fact that it's breathable. And since the weather turned into a convection oven a couple of months ago, I want to wear it all the time because it's so perfect. I like the high neck and the fact that I can like lean forward and I don't have décolleté issues. And yeah, it's just my absolute favorite. I love the shape, I love everything. However, the straps have stretched out, which means that the underarm is now lower. And if I lean forward, I don't have décolleté issues, but I have side boobage issues. And you can really see everything. And I could shorten the straps. However, the bottom hem, you're supposed to do ribbing at the bottom, and I didn't do that. I just bound off. So it's flaring out a little bit because of the garter, whatever. It gets technical, but the bottom is flaring out. And with the height of the body is currently at, it hits where my hips start to get wider. So the fact that the body gets wider is fine. But if I shorten the straps, it's gonna hit where my waist is the smallest. So the fact that the bottom gets wider is gonna be super obvious and it looks really bad, I think. And I don't want to do that. So I would like to knit another one, but I didn't have the yarn in my stash. And this is gonna be perfect. On top of that, it's a much more like neutral color, and my lila top is green. And there are a lot of bottoms I cannot wear the green lila top with because it's green. So this is gonna be so much better. So yeah, it's awesome. It's perfect. It's a perfect gauge. I even did a little swatch. Where is it? Here. I tried on different needles. The top is 4 millimeters, the middle is 3.5, and the bottom is 3. I think I'm gonna go with 3.5. Whatever. It's lovely. And it's like really soft, but yeah. This is the acquisitions. So I got 186 grams, which I'm a bit annoyed about because the balls are supposed to be 50 grams, but 3 of them were 45. I still think I should have enough to make it long enough. And if I end up with another super cropped lila top because I run out of yarn, I'm going to be super annoyed. But I'm pretty sure I have more than enough, considering how much I used for the first one and how much length I have here. And the gauge is going to be the same. It's going to be fine. But whatever. And that's all. That's all the yarn in for the month of June. So now we can talk about the yarn out. So the project I finished 4. 3 of them are small, 1 is huge. So the first one is those super cute pair of socks. They are so sweet. Sweet is the apt word because it's based off of the Sweet Socks pattern, which is a free pattern of mine. And I just needed to do shorty version, and I say need because I was giving a workshop at my local yarn shop for those socks, and I needed to knit up a sample. And also, this red yarn is Sandnes Garn Sisu, which was given to me by Sandy, the owner of my local yarn shop, because she wanted to test out a new sock yarn for her shop, and I needed to make socks anyway for the workshop. So I tested out the yarn, but yeah, I didn't pay for this yarn either. Regarding the pattern, so I have written the modifications in the Sweet Socks pattern. I just need to translate them, but I don't have the time. So at some point there's going to be an update in the Sweet Sock pattern for the shorties and the stripes, and for the picot edge hem at the top. But not now, but one day it will come. Anyway, I used 46 grams for those, and 4 grams of the white, which is just a random sock yarn I had laying around in my stash. So 50 grams total out of stash with those super cute socks. Now, I already showed you the scrunchie. So there is an elastic inside. It's pretty big, and I'm actually going to try to tie my hair with it. I really love the look of messy bun, but I'm so bad at making them because I always do like a perfect stick back, and I just struggle with the concept of messy stuff. So I don't know, how should I go about this? I think there's a thing where you don't pull out all the hair, and then you do a second, but then there's hair sticking out. So maybe if I do like this, I'm so bad at messy buns. You may have seen on my Instagram a few pictures with a beautiful messy bun. I didn't do it. It's my photographer, she did it for me because she's good at this. I'm not. Okay, it sucks, but whatever, you cannot see it. So, I don't know, just look at the scrunchie. It's just a scrunchie. You know how those work. Yeah, so I used 9 grams for it, and I don't know if you can see, but there is some eyelet sections, just to give a little bit more interest to the thing. And it's not very visible because I use the dark yarn, but if you use a lighter one, it's definitely gonna put a lot more interest. There is no pattern for this, but at some point in the future, one day maybe, not maybe, I will put the instructions in the Ravelry project. It's gonna be free, just look at the Ravelry notes and it's gonna be there, explained for you. Nothing complicated, I just cast on stitches, I think like maybe 80 or something, and then I knit straight in a round, and I did some eyelet rows, and then I sew down the live stitches to the cast on edge while putting an elastic inside. That's all. I think I don't remember what needle I used. I did write it down, but I forgot. I just forgot. Yeah, so that's for the second finished object. And the third one is this. So this is what I did with the cotton yarn. And this is a glasses case. I still don't know how you say that. Is it glass or glasses case? I don't know. So there's an clip-clap opening type of thing here. Very satisfying. And you can just put your glasses in, and it's super cute. I knit it up at like a tight gauge so that it would be kind of a little bit sturdy to protect your glasses. And there is those cute little flowers on each side. And I did a Judy's Magic cast on at the bottom. And those little pearl details here at the top where the thing is sewed. Very basic. So this and the scrunchie are for a workshop I'm gonna give at my local yarn shop. They are pretty basic because they are aimed towards people that are not like very, like not beginner knitters, but almost. The glasses case used 20 grams, so I have 7 grams of yarn left. But again, I know already what I'm gonna do with those. I'm gonna do a crochet blanket with all my summer yarns leftovers. So that is gonna be like heavy and dense and like a comfort blanket, not too warm for the summer. It's gonna be awesome. I say that while I look at my other 2 blanket whips with other leftovers, and I haven't touched in a while. Anyway, the last finished object is absolutely huge and absolutely beautiful. Look at this! Wow! It's my Bountiful Sweater. It's an all-over texture sweater. The textures are all made with knits and pearls. There's not a single cable in this. and you can find lateral braids here to separate the textures. And then there's a high collar, high collar with a double-sided, double thickness, folded over, whatever, with a zip. And it's super comfy, it's super squishy, it's super cute, I love it. And the test is currently underway. And I'm not gonna wear this for a while, which is a shame because I love it so much. But whatever. So I used 674 grams. I think you got it, but this is the sweater I knit up using the Solas worsted by Woolen Twine. So I used 674 grams and I have 39 grams left, which I'm a bit annoyed about because I thought I would have like 10 grams left. But I did some surgery at the beginning when I did the back panel. I wasn't happy with the width of the neck, but I was already like pretty far in the back panel. So I cut off the top and I knit another top part of the back panel and I grafted back on this section. So I was left with a piece of back that I threw in a corner and I completely forgot about. And when I finished the sweater, I started like putting away something and just ordering my yarny corner, and I found it and I was like, no! Because it meant that I used up a bit of fresh yarn to finish the sweater instead of using up something that was already blocked and knit up. So now I have this ugly leftover, which I'm really annoyed about because I want my leftovers to be like pristine and beautiful and not knit up yarn. Anyway, doesn't matter. I think I'm gonna put this in my sweat shop blanket. It's a lot, but I think I can do maybe 6 or 7 squares with that. I mean triangles. So yeah. Beautiful finished object. I'm gonna talk about it more in the podcast, but yeah. I love it so much. So yes, that's all for what I have acquired and knit up this month. And regarding the blankets, so I did say, if you follow, that every trimester I was gonna do like an update on how much yarn I have used up, because my blanket is basically like a big basket full of yarn, and every trimester I weigh how much yarn is left in the basket, and the difference between the last trimester is basically what I have used up. However, in the last trimester I have knit a grand total of 0 stitches on the garter blanket and 1 square on the sweat shop blanket. So I don't think it's worth showing it, and even less counting how much yarn I have used for that. So I'm gonna keep that for next trimester in September. And hopefully I'm gonna have more knitting time this summer, and also less like design knitting with deadlines and more, how do you say that? Hobby knitting? That's a bit weird to say, but since I professionalized my knitting, I guess the blankets are hobby knitting. Knitting should just be a hobby, but yeah, whatever, you get the idea. So yeah, no update on the blankets for this trimester. So that's it for the month of June. I have knit a lot more than that actually, but I haven't finished the pieces, so I'm not counting that out of stash. But just a sneak peek. That's my prim dress. Just a sneak peek. Sneak peek. It's gonna be for the month of July, hopefully. So yeah, conclusion for the month of June. I'm quite happy with where I am with my stash. It's going down slowly but surely, and hopefully with the destashing that I'm gonna talk about in a minute, it's gonna get a lot better. So yeah, I'm still feeling great. I'm still positive, optimistic, however you want to say that. I'm feeling great. Now, there is something really important I completely forgot to talk about. It's what I'm wearing, because today is also the pattern release for the 30s top, which is one of the samples I have here. So not this one, obviously. This thing that you cannot see at all, because of course the camera cuts off just above the interesting part. So this is the interesting part. It's a little top, very basic top with options, so you can either have it open front or closed front. And the interesting thing is this, which is the front ties. So you can either have the front ties short, like here, or super long to make a big statement bow. That's absolutely beautiful. And it's also in the construction. So, I mean, the construction in itself is pretty easy. It's just a European shoulder construction. So you start with a trapezoid on the back, and then you pick up stitches for the front, and then you just do increases for the V-neck, and then at the underarms. However, the borders, the edges, the trimmings, however you want to call them, they are made with double knitting, and they are made as you go. And it does not involve having a separate needle size for this part. It's just using the same needles as the rest, and then you do a very smart, if I may say so myself, trick at the underarm, so that the double knit edge is continuous here, and you don't have to pick up stitches afterwards anywhere. It's just like you knit the back, you knit the front, you join, you finish the body, you bind off, you're done. Nothing to pick up. I mean, except for the front bows, but yeah, no finishing touches. You're welcome. So this is obviously my open front version. The closed front version is the red one. There is also options for optional horizontal bustards and optional body shaping. And there's also guidance in the pattern to modify the fit, and that's it. Just a heads up, this is my first sample, and I had some gauge issues. So the V-neck and the armholes are a bit too deep, which is why I'm wearing something underneath. I did wear it without anything on the podcast, but I think it looks better like that. It's a bit less risque. So yeah, this is lower than in the final pattern, but I guess some people are gonna have gauge issues at some point. So if you have row gauge issues, this is what it's gonna look like. And I also modified a few things, like the front panels are a little bit wider in the final pattern. But yeah, it's just details. Now, something about this, I just discovered this morning, I mean, right before filming, when I put it on, the ties accidentally put themselves like so. And it's like super cute. I really like it, actually. I'm wondering if I don't prefer this to this. But yeah, just a fun fact. You can wear it a few different ways. In this case, I put a button here in the middle, but you don't have to. You can also just tie a knot. But the knot tends to just open up, which is annoying if you don't have anything underneath. So I put a button for safety. So the pattern is being released today. So you can get it for 15% off with the code HAPPY30s on Ravelry and PayHip. And the code is valid until Sunday, the 5th of July, end of day CET. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to show all the testers versions and more pictures in the podcast episode that's going to be next week. But yeah, for today, since it's just a short video about my stash, I'm not going to go too much into details about this thing. But yeah, it's out today. Now, finally, about the destashing I wanted to talk about. I have two things I'm ready to part with. The first one is kind of a 3-in-1. A couple of years ago, I test knit the Maxine sweater for Laura Penrose, and I have a lot of yarn left from that. And I really, really love the yarns. And since I've used them for the sweater, I have always thought it would be nice to use them to make like a shawl or something that could match the sweater. But I just know I'm never going to do it. And I don't wear a ton of shawls anyway. I have a lot of them and I don't wear them. So even if I make more, I'm not going to wear them more. So it's just not going to happen. So this is the yarn. I say one, but they are all together. You don't need to take all of them. If you just want one, you can also say that. But I will give priority to people who take all of them. So this is Le Petit Lamb's Wool by Bicep. It's a gorgeous yarn. It's one of those yarns that's really not smooth at all. Like when you touch it, you're like, this is not soft. However, it's not itchy. I am next level sensitive to wool, and this is not itchy for me. I really love it, which is also why I wanted to make a shawl with it, because it's just so nice. Once it's plucked, it gives a really beautiful fabric. I have 88 grams of this. Don't get full, because this I pulled from the inside, so it's actually halfway empty, halfway full. So I have 88 grams of this, and I have a full bowl of this one. It ended up being too light, so I couldn't use it in the color work. So yeah, this full. And the one I ended up using in the color work is Tvini by Iseer. And you get two 50-gram hangs into one, and I only used almost one full, so this one is untouched, but I have this little bit. And this is 55 grams. of this. So they all go together because you can work them together. But yeah, if you just want those two, it's fine. And the second thing is completely different and it's very strange. This is jute thread, jute yarn. I don't know how you say jute in English or how you pronounce jute. Is it jute? Jute? I have no idea. In French it's jute. So you get what this is. It's kind of this ropey material that you do to, I don't know, twine stuff. I have no idea. But you get what this is. It's kind of thick and you can make like, how do you say that? Cachepot stuff, rugs, crochet, tapestry, whatever. You can do whatever. It's great. I really love it. And I did make kind of a half moon crochet rug with it. And it's lovely. I bought 4 of those. So it's 400 meters per spool. I had 4, so 2 kilos. And I used a little bit under or over 1 to do the crochet half moon rug. And I started another like full circle thing, but it didn't work out. So I unraveled it completely. So the other 2 are unraveled and look disgusting, but I have this one that's complete and this one that's half used and a bit unraveled, but I think it's still like, I can still give this away to someone. It's still in a acceptable form, unlike the others. So it's in total 720 grams, 576 meters of this material. So if you want to do a half moon crochet thing like I did, this is enough. And it's very heavy, it's taking a lot of space, a lot of headspace also in my stash. So I think I'm ready to say goodbye to them. I have more, as I said, but I still think I'm going to use the rest. But I don't need this many, this much of it. So you can also claim those. Now, to claim them, simply send me an email. The address is going to be somewhere and also in the description box. And again, first come, first serve. I'm going to write in the description box if the thing is still available or not. So please check before you send me an email. Send me your address, your shipping address, and also your phone number so that I can fill out the customs declarations. I'm not going to call you or anything. It's just for the customs. And you're going to pay for shipping. I think the standard shipping is between 10 and 20 Swiss francs. And if you want the sign-in option for when you receive the package, I think it's double. I'm not sure, but I can ship worldwide. And yeah, you just pay for shipping and I send you the yarn for free otherwise. So first come, first serve, send me an email. I hope you will enjoy and that those yarns, those beautiful yarns, will serve a better purpose than just take dust in my box of yarn. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to use the code 30s, happy 30s to get the pattern for 15% off. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for a like. Thank you for everything. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on any future content from me, which is going to be a podcast episode next week, I think. Yes. So thank you again for being here. I hope to see you again next time. Happy knitting. I love you.